That actually is a perfect transition to our main topic. What is some of the things WWE should change? Like, because you got AEW, you got all these different promotions, but AEW is starting to seem like they're real competition now. So the question is, what are some changes WWE needs to make to, continue to be that top wrestling promotion? What would you say is some changes they need to make?
Please, for the love of God, stop burying talent. Stop it. Stop it. Man. You have one of the greatest wrestlers on the planet, and his name is Ricochet, and yet I see him still screwing around. You have Jeff Hardy still. It's Twilight. You still gotta utilize him properly. It's like you have all these resources and you're not utilizing it, but you got to start using people properly. And I think they're doing a good job with Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns. I feel like the Hurt Business should have been a thing they shouldn't have broken up, and they should have kept them together. And I feel like if you're gonna bring anybody up from NXT, or you're gonna use somebody from NXT, you got to use them right. You got to treat them as well as you protected. You got to protect them like you would protect somebody like a Triple H or a Shawn Michaels, man. Because it's like, there's no point in having a secondary show, a third string show or secondary show, having people watch it and then come to watch the main show only for them to get, blinked out of existence. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Man, it's funny. I got notes because when we came up with this topic, I was like, man, there's so many things I want WWE to change, but I'm gonna start it off with this one because I've been watching a lot of documentaries lately, and I've been studying the game. I told y'all guys I'm starting wrestling training, so I'm studying the game myself. And one thing I loved about the Attitude Era, one thing I loved about back in the day, and I'm gonna bring up this guy because this is one of the greatest, to me, the greatest superstar of all time, is Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels, during his era, he wasn't loved backstage. He was not loved by the wrestlers. He wasn't loved. He was actually hated, probably, if anything, because of how he acted. But this is my point of bringing Shawn Michaels up. I feel like the WWE, they need someone that's going to stir the pot like Shawn Michaels. They need a talent that is not just going to care about being loved by the locker room, because I feel like everything has become too friendly. I feel like it's like, not only is it friendly on TV watching it because it's PG now, it seems like the locker room is a lot more friendly now, and it's not like they're trying to be better than each other almost, to me. Like Shawn Michaels' Attitude Era, they look like they all wanted to be the best, and they all wanted to be better than one another. And Shawn Michaels is the epitome of that to me. Like, Shawn Michaels could be one of the reasons why the Attitude Era even came to exist, along with Stone Cold, along with NWO, DX. But I bring up Shawn Michaels because he stirred the pot. He wanted to be the best. And though though he had problems with Bret Hart, some things probably shouldn't have happened with the Montreal Screw Job, whatever the case may be.
About Mark Henry. He almost got Mark Henry out of WWE completely.
Yeah, so even with other stuff like that, one thing we can say for sure, Shawn Michaels made the product of us watching that much greater because he wanted to be the best. And when you want to be the best, the people around you, you give that same energy to them. I don't feel like they got somebody. I feel like WWE needs someone that's going to stir the pot a lot more. Like, Roman Reigns is the guy right now, but I feel like Roman Reigns is loved by the locker room, which is dope, which is cool. That's what you should aspire to be. But I just feel like they need someone that's going to stir the pot, though. I feel like they need someone that's going to be like, forget all that. I don't care if y'all don't want me to do this or do that. I'm not just going to read off the script or whatever the lines. Like, someone that's just going to be like, I'm going to do what I'm going to do to entertain the fans. And I just feel like that's going to bring a different aura with someone that will stir the pot a lot more. What's your thoughts on that?
I think you're right. But the issue is like, WWE is shown around the world, and on top of that, they got sponsors that's literally pumping money into the WWE. And I feel like the biggest issue with that is like, we can't have our cake and eat it type situation, man. So, it's kind of rough. I feel like I wish we can go back in time where, things were less political and you could just get away with saying whatever you wanted, doing wild stuff all the time, because you gave a more like pure experience, because people will either speak their mind or just do stuff that they find funny that's gonna make it more relatable and likable. Because let's look at Stone Cold's character. Stone Cold was an asshole if you really look at it, and he didn't care about your feelings. I guarantee you, if you gave him an inch, he'll take a mile. He'll hurt your feelings and say all types of wild stuff. Because I was looking at Bret Hart's career. He was the one that pointed out when Bret was all like, I don't want to wrestle in America no more. He was making it seem like Stone Cold was getting at him and making it look like, man, all you do is cry and whine, and I'm just thinking, man, what if we gave Stone Cold, to 2020, like, man, he'd be tearing people apart and hurting everybody's feelings.
But the great thing about Stone Cold, but see, no, I disagree. That may be a great character in this time, because think about it. The world right now is so sensitive. The world completely is too sensitive right now. You can't say anything without offending somebody. Imagine you had a character out there that said, forget all of that. Like, forgive me for bringing this up to people, but I gotta bring it up. This is gonna be a lot of real. Donald Trump. Why was Donald Trump so loved by most people, even though, like, one reason people say they love Donald Trump is because he didn't seem like he sugarcoated anything. Like, he didn't seem like the regular presidents that kind of just told you what you needed to hear. He seemed like Donald Trump would actually tell you what he believed, even though, like, of course, that stirred the pot. Of course, like, he said stuff that a lot of us ain't going to agree with, but it also made people laugh. It also made people be like, dang, he actually saying what he feels, and that's the president. Most presidents can't do that. The reason why I bring him up is because in such of a sensitive time right now, imagine if there was a character like that really said what he wanted and went against everybody that was so sensitive, against everything that people are sensitive to. It may attract us more to that character and be like, dang, I wish I could say what he said. And he's speaking for these people that want to say what he's saying right now. I feel like a character like that could be embraced, even though he'd probably be hated. He'd probably be loved and hated at the same time. But you need a character like that. That's my point. Because I'm like, everything is too, especially in the WWE. And I've been watching AEW compared to WWE, and I'm just like, WWE got so many just basic characters right now, outside of maybe Roman, Edge, the legends, Randy Orton, and maybe Seth Rollins. Like, every other character is pretty basic. And, I like Bobby Lashley though, so I'm gonna shout out him, but every other character is too basic for me right now.
Bobby Lashley feels like he's like the Triple H template, pretty much. That's the way I feel about him. It's like, pretty much, he's like, his character turned into it pretty much went from meathead to I'm an elite meathead. That's what he's turned into.
But that's my problem with the WWE. That gives me another point. Everything the WWE's doing now, ever since the Attitude Era, to me has been trying to make superstars like the Attitude Era. Like, they've been looking for the next The Rock, the next Shawn Michaels, the next Stone Cold, instead of just trying to embrace this new era. Like,